Hello students, this is class 10th, subject English, chapter 2 Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom from First Flight book and chapter 1 Sentence of Grammar. This is my revision lecture. Already we have done these two chapters in classroom, so today we shall revise these two chapters. So let us begin. Topics to be covered today. Today we shall cover the following topics. First of all, chapter sketch means chapter 2 Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom sketch means it is all about the chapter 2. Then chapter introduction. Then we shall read the introduction of the chapter. After that, we shall cover chapter highlights. Already we have done this chapter in our classroom. So in this lecture, in this revision lecture, we shall cover chapter highlights. After that, we have already, as we know that we have already done chapter 1 of grammar sentence. So after chapter highlights of chapter 2 of first flight, we shall discuss sentence along with its meaning and its kinds. Chapter sketch, a long walk to freedom. Actually, this chapter has been taken from Nelson Mandela's book of the same name, Nelson Mandela, A Long Walk to Freedom. Nelson Mandela was a non-violent anti-apartheid activist. He joined the African National Congress in 1942 when he was in his 20s. So, Mandela spent 27 years in prison for political offences, and Long Walk to Freedom is an autobiography of Nelson Mandela. So, the whole chapter revolves around Nelson Mandela. So, this chapter provides us a glimpse of the early life of Nelson Mandela, his education, 30 years in prison, and the pains he had suffered in his young age. The chapter recounts his fight for the freedom for his own people who were tortured by whites. In the chapter, Mandela gives two contradictory pictures of his own country. One in which the blacks were tortured and suffered quietly, and second, the blacks will be free to live the life of their own. So, Nelson Mandela, the first black president of South Africa after more than 3 centuries of white rule, celebrated the grand ceremony of the first democratic non-racial government. Long Walk to Freedom Introduction. So let us read it and understand. This chapter is an extract from the autobiography of Nelson Mandela, the first black president of South Africa. Extracts from Long Walk to Freedom include description of the inauguration ceremony, his speech, his journey to being a freedom fighter, the struggle, along with a tribute to other freedom fighters and countless other people who fought for the freedom of South Africa. So, Nelson Mandela played an instrumental role in fight against the racial regime in South Africa and also installing the first democratically elected government. Even after facing sufferings and tortures in prison, he led the country to the path of democracy. So they struggled for their freedom. In South Africa, a brutal practice named apartheid was followed. Actually, apartheid was a political system that separates people according to their race. So apartheid refers to the discrimination between people on the basis of their race. So it was one of the most brutal societies where dark-skinned people were deprived of their basic rights. They were not given their basic rights. This lesson gives us an overview as to how Nelson Mandela, along with others, carved their way to a society where there will be no discrimination on the basis of their color, race, or gender. So this was the introduction of this chapter, Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. This is actually an extract from Nelson Mandela's autobiography having the same name, Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. Now, let us discuss chapter highlights. As you all know that we have already read this chapter in the classroom. So, today we are going to discuss main points of this chapter. 10th of May. This day was very important in the life of Nelson Mandela. This was a day of freedom for South Africa, and there was huge gathering of international leaders and dignitaries. Dignitaries means very important persons. So on that day, on that inauguration day, many dignitaries and international leaders came to South Africa, and this ceremony was held at the lovely amphitheatre in the Union Building in Pretoria. So politicians and dignitaries from more than 140 countries attended this ceremony. Next point, inauguration ceremony or swearing. Inauguration. It means an act of commencing something formally. So on that day, the new non-racial government was going to be installed. So inauguration ceremony or swearing in ceremony was being held in Union Building in Pretoria, and first non-racial government took the charge. Mr. de Klerk was sworn in as second deputy president, Thabo Mbeki as first deputy president, and Nelson Mandela was sworn in as the president of South Africa. Now Mandela's ceremonial speech. Nelson Mandela gave speech on the victory for peace and human dignity. On the podium, Mandela said that the presence of people from different nations confer glory and hope to liberty. And the blacks were organizing the ceremony for the world leaders on their soul. This was the first time. So their victory over apartheid was a common victory for justice, for peace and human dignity. So they would work to liberate all the people from poverty and diseases. So Mandela pledged to liberate his people from poverty, suffering and discrimination. A colorful show by jets and helicopters to show military's loyalty took place. Actually, after a few moments, South African jets, helicopters and troop carriers displayed a spectacular show of pinpoint precision. and military powers. It was a demonstration of military's loyalty to the fairly elected government. Next point is singing of two national anthems was done. The old Nekosi Sikilil by the whites and the new Daistem by the blacks. So now these two national anthems were sung. This showed equality. A new system that recognized the rights and freedom of all people was formed. Actually, there was apartheid system. So that system created a horror on South Africa and on its people. The years of oppression and brutality created the men of outstanding courage, wisdom, and generosity. So Mandela remembered and thanked the people who sacrificed their lives for the freedom. Salutation to some great freedom fighters. He saluted those freedom fighters who struggled for the freedom of South Africa. Those were Oliver Tambo, Walter Sisulu, Chief Luthuli, Yusuf Daddo, and others. So the years of oppression made them very courageous. Mandela said in speech that a country is rich. Why? Because of its people, not because of the minerals. So Nelson Mandela said that South Africa is rich in minerals and gems, but then its greatest wealth is its people who are worth more than the purest diamond. Then he told the meaning of the courage. According to Nelson Mandela, courage is not the absence of fear, but the victory over it. Nelson Mandela learned the meaning of courage from his comrades during struggling times. He said that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it, but the victory over it, and the man who conquers his fear was a brave man. Then he says people should love others and not hate them due to color or religion. Love comes more naturally and it comes naturally, not by force, which is the natural goodness. He also stated that a man should try to make a balance between his duties. Nelson Mandela said that every man had two obligations in his life. One obligation to his family, parents, wife and children. And second, to his people, community and country. A South African person was never able to fulfill these obligations. So, he said that a man should try to make a balance between his duties. Duty to his family and duty to his community and country. A black person was treated badly and not allowed to perform his duties. According to Mandela, freedom has many aspects, like for a kid it is to run and play, for an adult it is to fulfill the needs of his own and his family. Real freedom means equal rights for everyone. So, Nelson Mandela told that according to him, when he was a boy, freedom meant to run in the field near his mother's hut, to swim freely in the stream, to roast mealies under the stars and ride the broad backs of slow-moving bulls. But later on, he talked about certain basic honorable freedoms, such as achieving his potential, of earning his living, and of marrying and having a family. So he built the contrast between these two freedoms by stating that the transitory freedoms he wanted were limited to him, whereas the honorable freedoms had to do more with his and his people's position in the society. He said that he was free only when his people were free. So Nelson Mandela joined the African National Congress. He desired people to live with dignity and respect. He wanted the oppressor and the oppressed to be liberated. And he also realized in his youth that it was not just his freedom that was being curtailed, but the freedom of all blacks. So the hunger for his own freedom became the hunger for the freedom of his people. So this desire of a non-racial society transformed him into a virtuous and self-sacrificing man. Thus, he joined the African National Congress, and this changed him from a frightened young man into a bold one. Patience and perseverance, guided by discipline and system, yield the desired result. So this is all about Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom. Now let us move to next chapter, chapter 1 of grammar. Sentence, a group of words which makes complete sense, is called sentence. For example, children are playing outside. Ram is reading a book. He goes to school daily. Some boys are playing cricket. So these are some examples of sentence. Phrase. What is a phrase? It is also a group of words, but it does not give us complete sense. So a group of words having incomplete sense is called a phrase. Here are some examples of phrases. On the table, in winter, in the east, under the tree. So these are also group of words, but these are not giving us complete sense. Parts of sentence. A sentence has two parts. The person or thing talked about is called the subject, and whatever is said about that person or thing is called the predicate. For example, birds fly. Next is an old man is crying. Here in first example, subject is birds and fly is predicate. And in next example, an old man, this is subject, and is crying is predicate. For example, the girl washed the clothes. So here the girl is subject and washed the clothes. This is predicate. Subject. Subject is doer of an action. The sun rises in the east. In this sentence, the sun is subject. Then predicate. That tells something about a subject. Hassan serves his parents. So in this sentence, serves his parents is predicate and Hassan is subject. So sentence has two parts, the subject and the predicate. Now let us discuss the kinds of sentences. There are 5 kinds of sentences. First is declarative, then next is interrogative, Then next is imperative, next exclamatory, and last one is optative. Declarative sentence. A sentence that makes a statement or assertion is called an assertive sentence. Assertive sentences can be both in affirmative and in negative. For example, he goes to school daily. And in negative we can write, he does not go to school daily. My father is a doctor. This is also affirmative. My father is not a doctor. That is negative. Next is interrogative sentence. A sentence which expresses a question is called an interrogative sentence. Means interrogative sentences ask a question. They use a question mark at the end. For example, where do you live? Next example, what time do you get up in the morning? Is it raining? Or there may be other examples like where do you live? When did Ram come? What do you want? Who teaches you? English means at the end of interrogative sentences, we use question mark. Imperative sentences. A sentence which expresses a request, order, suggestion or command is called an imperative sentence. Means imperative sentences express command, advice, suggestion or request. Here are some examples. Pick up the book. Clean your room. Go ahead. This is the example of command. Speak the truth. This is advice. Please give me your book. This is the example of request. Fourth kind of sentence is exclamatory. Exclamatory sentences show strong feelings or emotions. Always use an exclamation mark at the end. Means a sentence which expresses sudden strong feeling of joy, sorrow, wonder or anger is called an exclamatory sentence. Here are some examples. Hooray! We won the World Cup. Alas! Salim's father died. Oh! I have lost my pen. Wow! It is a beautiful day. Hooray! I won $1 million. So this is exclamatory sentence. Now let us move to fifth kind. It is optative sentence. An optative sentence is used to pray or wish. Means a sentence which expresses a wish or a prayer is called an optative sentence. It always ends with mark of exclamation. For example, may God bless you. May his soul rest in peace. May you live long. So these are some examples of optative sentences. And by this we have completed all the kinds of sentences. There are mainly 5 kinds of sentences. These are assertive sentences, interrogative sentences, imperative sentences, exclamatory sentences, and last one is optative sentences. Now your homework. Read the chapter 2, means chapter 2 of First Flight, Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom thoroughly and revise the summary or chapter highlights and questions and answers, and also revise chapter 1 sentence of grammar. I hope you all have understood these two chapters. So complete your homework. Thank you.